This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Wednesday, June the 3rd, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that authorities at the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation have seemingly contravened Barbados's laws, enforcing 13 of its employees into compulsory retirement. Last week, at a meeting convened by top officials at the BIDC, the 13, including Human Resources Manager David Paris, were notified that they would be compulsorily retired by September 30th. The workers, all approaching age 60, were drawn from a number of departments. 2 other employees from the Information Technology Department were also laid off and immediately escorted off the premises by security. However, yesterday, Acting Deputy General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Delcia Burke, told the Barbados Today that based on what occurred last week, officials at the BIDC seemed either to be unaware of the changes in the law or were just simply ignoring them. She explained that the BIDC were in breach of the Pensions Act as well as employment rights legislation. The newly appointed principal of the Cayfield campus of the University of the West Indies is predicting a steady return to growth in the student population. Against a backdrop of a more than 20% drop in enrollment numbers for the 2014-2015 academic year, Professor Udin Barito sees growth in both the undergraduate and graduate levels. Addressing the biennial conference of the UWI School of Education at the Accra Beach Hotel in Christchurch, Professor Barito expects this expansion to happen through a vigorous marketing campaign focusing on the regional but especially the international market. She also foresees a Cayfield campus characterized by sustainable success. In sports now, FIFA sponsors including Visa, Coke and McDonald's have welcomed Sepp Blatter's decision to resign as president of football's world governing body. Blatter's decision to step down comes amidst a corruption scandal. However, both Visa and Coke repeated warnings that they expected a swift overhaul at FIFA. And McDonald's said it hoped this would be the first step towards gaining back trust from fans worldwide. Last week, FIFA was hit by the arrests of top officials on charges of racketeering, wire fraud, and money laundering as part of a U.S. prosecution that also indicted 14 people. Blatter was subsequently re-elected, but yesterday resigned, saying that his mandate did not appear to be supported by everybody. Meanwhile, Jordan's Prince Ali bin Al Hussein, who had conceded defeat to Blatter at the recent election, says he's now ready to take over. However, he says there needs to be a lot of internal cleansing, including a call for Blatter to take responsibility for the alleged corruption within the organization.
He was re-elected, but he's responsible, and I hope that at some stage he actually does take responsibility for actions, because he is the president of a governing body of the most popular sport in the world. You know, the main critical problem is that there is such a loss of confidence in this organization. And it's a real pity that it's being dragged down in this way. You know, I stood for change, and I stood with many brave people, including Michael Van Praag, Luis Figo, and others who really wanted that. It was never about me as you know, to be a president. Disappointed I'm not. It was a democratic process. I think that they led a very savvy campaign, especially in the last few days. But at the end of the day, I think that I'm very proud to have been part of a movement for change and to open the door for that to happen.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits, whether
Welcome back with news from the region that Trinidad and Tobago's murder toll has reached 162. This follows the shooting death of a 26-year-old man. According to police reports, the man was liming at Nelson Street Monday morning when he was approached by a gunman who shot him. He was pronounced dead on arrival at hospital. Still in the region, Antiguans and Barbudans will soon get yet another opportunity to receive free eye care services with the visit of a medical team from Venezuela. In a continuing effort to strengthen the traditional bonds of friendship between both countries, Venezuela has agreed to include patients from Antigua and Barbuda in its Miracle Mission program. Venezuelan ambassador to Antigua and Barbuda, Carlos Perez, says the first team arrives on the island this week to conduct screening exercises. Actual surgeries will take place when the second team visits.
And the second phase of this cooperation will be to do surgeries, for the patients that qualify, for the two pathologies, okay? So at this moment, it will be only two pathologies. This cooperation is in the framework of the agreement that we call Mission Miracle, which is the eye care mission promoted by Venezuela. And that agreement was signed during the visit of our Foreign Minister, Delcy Rodriguez, in her last visit to Antigua at the end of March.
Under the program, Venezuelan doctors have already restored the sights of thousands of people from several countries in South America, and it aims at restoring the sight of thousands of others in the region this year. On the international scene, a heat wave gripping India has killed in excess of 2,000 people, and meteorologists are warning that monsoon rains could still be days away. The worst hit state was Andhra Pradesh on the country's southeast coast, where 42 people have died in the past 24 hours. The total toll in that state is now close to 1,800.
This is home now, the streets of New Delhi. These patients have come from different corners of India to get medical treatment for various ailments. Problem is, the government-run hospital behind them is full, so they're camping outside in the blistering heat. Temperatures in the capital topped 45 degrees Celsius, 114 Fahrenheit in the past few days. Worst affected, the poorest of the poor. No matter how hot it is, we have to live here day or night, this man says. We're lucky if we get to sleep a little bit. We have no choice. What they have is resilience. Used to living through hot summers every year, for these people, this heat wave is a secondary problem. Many in this group are cancer patients. Some so sick, they don't even have the energy to fan themselves.
And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? #sexy.